So yeah, guys, today we're covering raw versus cooked meat in my 2026 perspective. Because, back in the day, maybe a year ago, you watched some of my content, I was more in that kind of goatus mentality of, oh, raw meat, that's garbage. Or sorry, cooked meat, that's garbage. Cooked meat is nothing compared to raw meat. And I think over the last year, throughout my research, I think I've come to more of a nuanced perspective about raw versus cooked meat. I do think raw meat from a great source is kind of the key to peak health. It's a part of peak health for sure. Having certain raw organs, certain raw muscle meat, raw animal fat, whether it's raw butter or raw flesh from a ruminant animal, raw fat from a ruminant animal, these are super nourishing, important foods if you can get them. They're super crucial. Along with these other aspects of health, we have light, the sun. Do you have blue light in your eyes? Do you have flickering lights in your eyes? Are you getting the full spectrum of UV, red light, blue light from the sun? How is your sleep, your circadian rhythm? Are you touching linen and cotton clothes all day? Are you touching polyester? There's all these pillars of health. And I think having high quality raw animal foods is super, super key. Don't get me wrong. But today we're going to break down a few things about raw versus cooked and kind of give you my updated take. So with cooking, we do create something called AGEs, which are advanced glycation end products. And these are from the Maillard reaction. And these AGEs are kind of the same end product of glycation damage. So, chronically elevated blood glucose, that's sticky, it causes glycation damage, advanced glycation end products, which is very, these are the things in type 2 diabetics that cause them to need amputations. Their toes are getting damaged by this chronically high blood sugar, they need to get amputated. So AGEs are created from cooking, and certain foods, the animal foods higher in polyunsaturated fats, like frying bacon, pork, they eat grains typically, pigs eat grains. These are stored as omega-6 polyunsaturated fats. So in bacon, the fat of bacon is very high in PUFA. You cook this, you create, 50,000 AGEs in a strip of bacon or whatever. So that's one disadvantage of cooking is advanced glycation end products. When you eat these, a lot of them are destroyed by the stomach acid, but some do get absorbed. So raw meat takes home advanced glycation end products. It has far less. So cooking does create these. Grilling and charring and frying in fats and things, these things are creating a lot more than if you make some sort of broth or stew. So that's a preferable option if you do cook. Yeah, so just this, again, I'm just off the dome, right? So just to kind of put it a little more categorically, there are things like HCAs and these other probable carcinogens and advanced glycation end products that are created from cooking. So that's one point for raw meat. Next is micronutrients. So raw meat does have more micronutrients. Cooking decreases the full array of water-soluble vitamins. It does decrease fat-soluble vitamins, but less so. So raw meat, you will get more nutrition for your money. And then you have certain things like liver or oysters, which are very dense, and you definitely don't want to cook those if you're going to eat them. The bacteria piece, I don't really think dietary bacteria are important, like the Agenus vonderplanus lens. I don't really care about them. I don't think they're important. A lot of them get destroyed by the stomach acid. It's not a big deal. So yeah, there's less toxins in raw meat. There's more nutrition in raw meat. Now, is searing your meat, is cooking your steak for a minute on each side, is that going to hinder you from optimal health? I'd argue no. I think you can be optimally healthy because you're still getting a lot of the raw meat. But it's important to understand the raw meat is the healing benefit. It's not the charred outside. So if you're cooking your meat well done, we are going to see about 50% less nutrition than in the raw. So it's something significant to consider, I would say. So will you be optimally healthy if you're eating a bunch of charred, well-done meat versus that person eating high-quality raw meat? I think there will be even a visible health difference in those two scenarios. I think it's very important. That's why you see these cooked carnivores eating fried bacon and all these like high PUFA foods, and there's this sad-looking charred meat. Those carnivores, they look way less healthy than someone eating raw fruit, raw meat, raw dairy, raw honey on more of the primal diet. They look way healthier than those Ken Berry and cooked carnivores, 100%. Way less polyunsaturated fats, more nutrients. And then I think there's reasons you want to include carbs for your thyroid health, your hormonal panel, your performance, the fact that glucose is, I would say, a superior fuel to be using in your cells throughout your body. It creates more ATP per unit of oxygen. less reactive oxygen species, 50% more CO2, which helps the oxygen get into your cells via the Bohr effect. There's this whole array of benefits of using glucose. So I see a huge benefit to having that, but that's a different topic. Concerns with raw meat: if you're getting low quality raw meat, it could have toxins or bad bacteria. That's one concern. Some people, whether it's germ or terrain theory, some people do get sick and throw up when they eat raw chicken from the store. So something to consider. The big shift, I guess, is that I think someone like Godis or Agenus will say that even a seared steak is toxic. That's ruined the meat. I don't see it that way. I just see, you sear a steak, you created some advanced glycation end products. If you cooked in a cooking fat, you probably oxidize that fat. When you melt butter, for example, you oxidize the cholesterol. Okay, there's some PUFA gets oxidized, whatever, not a big deal. And you've reduced the nutrition a little bit. But is it like a toxic substance? No, it's still super healthy. So don't be afraid if you're going to eat seared meat. It's not that deep. But if you can source that high quality raw animal flesh, then eat it. Make some dishes, some tomato, avocado, cucumber, lime juice, salt, pepper. I mean, that's chill. Make a nice, maybe some mango, make a nice tartare, right? It's not that deep. I've embraced plant foods a lot more. I see the culinary appeal to help the diet actually become sustainable. Is cucumber, tomato really that toxic like Anthony Shafee may say? I don't think so. They're very low in anti-nutrients. And even something like oxalates, that's a very deep rabbit hole because there's lots of ways we can actually modulate how much oxalates our own body is creating. So you can get oxalate toxicity internally, endogenously. The oxalates are not just the oxalates you eat. So that's a whole deep rabbit hole I can make a video on. So that's a story for another day. But my end all be all take is the less you cook your meat, the better. I would argue the quality of meat you're getting is more important than how much you cook it, though. When you're getting that deep red, yellow, fat steak versus that grain-fed garbage from the store, I wouldn't say garbage, but it is significantly worse. That's that huge difference is food quality. The reason raw milk is so nourishing, I'd argue, isn't even the fact it's raw. It's just that there's a strong association between raw products being raised differently. And, the farmers that sell raw milk are going to focus more on the health of their animals than the milk from the store. There's a huge quality difference. So I'd focus on trying to get those high quality foods and utilizing those. And whether you sear your steak or not, I think observably it's not a huge difference. If you're doing the other health practices like your sleep, what you're wearing, your sun, not washing your hair with 9-in-1 Head and Shoulders. And as always, if you want all of my protocols for optimal health, check out my school community. I do weekly calls with you guys. I post the recordings of every week's call. Lots of value in there. All my protocols to achieve optimal health and the community. And I'm active in there too, replying to posts. That's kind of where everything is. If you want to check out the community down below, cancel anytime if you're not happy. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.